The instructions that come with a listed product are considered part of the listing requirements. This includes any instructions to tape wire nuts. UL listing program ensures that a product complies with applicable safety standards. The product's instructions are reviewed and approved as part of the listing process. Any instructions in the listing are mandatory to maintain the product's compliance with the listing requirements. Therefore, even if you use higher quality wire nuts, you are still required to tape them if the product's instructions specify it. NEC Section 110.3, with any instructions included in a listing or labeling, confirms that the instructions provided with a listed product are part of the required instructions for installation and use. This includes general installation instructions, which may include instructions to tape wire nuts. To maintain compliance with the listing requirements and the NEC, you should tape the wire nuts when installing a ceiling fan, even if you are using high-quality wire nuts. This ensures that the installation meets the safety standards established by UL and the NEC. Section 110.3 of the National Electrical Code deals with the examination, identification, installation, and use of equipment. Specifically, 110.3 states that listed or labeled equipment must be installed and used in accordance with any instructions included in the listing or labeling. This requirement emphasizes the importance of following the manufacturer's instructions to ensure the safe and proper operation of electrical equipment. When a product is listed by a recognized testing laboratory like UL, it means that the product has been tested and found to comply with specific safety standards. As part of the listing process, the manufacturer provides instructions for the installation, operation, and maintenance of the equipment. These instructions are carefully reviewed by the testing laboratory to ensure that they are clear, accurate, and consistent with the product's design and intended use. Section 110.3 makes it clear that these instructions are not merely suggestions but are mandatory requirements that must be followed. Ignoring or deviating from the manufacturer's instructions can void the product's listing and potentially create a safety hazard. The requirement to follow the manufacturer's instructions applies to all types of listed or labeled equipment, including but not limited to appliances, lighting fixtures, electrical panels, and wiring devices. It is the responsibility of the installer or user to carefully read and understand the instructions before installing or using the equipment. If there are any questions or uncertainties, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician or the manufacturer directly. The instructions provided with listed or labeled equipment typically cover a wide range of topics, including proper wiring methods, grounding requirements, overcurrent protection, and environmental considerations. They may also include specific warnings or cautions to alert users to potential hazards. For example, the instructions may specify the type and size of conductors to be used, the proper torque for tightening connections, or the need to protect the equipment from moisture or corrosive substances. By following these instructions, installers and users can ensure that the equipment is installed and operated safely and reliably. The requirement to follow the manufacturer's instructions is not limited to the initial installation of the equipment. It also applies to any subsequent maintenance, repair, or modification work. If a component needs to be replaced, it is important to use a replacement part that is specifically approved by the manufacturer. Modifying the equipment in any way without the manufacturer's authorization can void the listing and create a safety hazard. In addition to the manufacturer's instructions, installers and users must also comply with all applicable codes and regulations. The National Electrical Code provides comprehensive requirements for the safe installation and use of electrical equipment. It is important to be familiar with the relevant provisions of the NEC and to follow them carefully. In some cases, the manufacturer's instructions may be more restrictive than the NEC requirement. In such cases, the more restrictive requirements must be followed. For example, if the manufacturer's instructions specify a higher ampacity conductor than the NEC requires, the higher ampacity conductor must be used. The requirement to follow the manufacturer's instructions is intended to ensure that listed or labeled equipment is installed and used safely and effectively. By carefully reading and following the instructions, installers and users can minimize the risk of electrical hazards and ensure the long-term reliability of the equipment. The instructions are a critical part of the product's listing and must be treated as such.